Okay. Now, what kind of materials do you use and why?
Well, I see it as every job is a little bit different, and I see it as um, what when they come to me, I ask them, I was like, what prompted you to call me? You know, what images did you like of mine? Did you see in my portfolio? Um, and if they say like if they saw one and it was a traditional piece, then I might opt to do something traditional. Um, or if they're looking for that traditional feel, um, then I might opt to do it traditionally. If they're wanting something quick and dirty and and it looks really tight and realistic, and they don't have a lot of time, then doing it traditionally is not always the best way to go. So I do it digitally, and I've learned how to do realism both traditionally first. I was trained traditionally, and I kind of excelled at using oils and Prismacolor colored pencils. That's where did most of my work and started out in a portfolio center, and that was what most of my portfolio consisted of, was like oil washes, very thin oils with colored pencil on top. And then that progressed into doing mostly oils, because I got rid of the colored pencil, and because I was trying to be a purist at that point. But then deadlines got shorter, more detail was required, and money got tight, so I had to find a quicker way of doing things. So I started doing half and half, oil painting, and then bringing that into the computer and finishing it up in the computer, working in Illustrator and Photoshop, and then I eventually, this was over a span of like maybe 5 to 7 years, I was doing a transition between like traditional and digital, and I was doing a lot of tradigital work, and that was what I really liked doing a lot of. I was always wanted to do some tradigital work at Portfolio Center back in '92, and then I slowly transitioned into doing a lot more just pure digital, mainly due to what the clients wanted and the time I had, and that it wasn't going to be on a gallery wall per se. It wasn't going to be a big, fine art piece, framed. It was just a commercial art piece. So it lent itself to being digital. So what I do mostly now is work in Photoshop, Illustrator, Painter. I use Poser every once in a while. And but still, I mean, with teaching at SCAD, I'm doing a lot of traditional stuff as well, and I really love it. I love it all.
Okay. Now, that being said, do you feel that traditional illustration will slowly go away due to the increase in computer usage?
No, not at all. I think it comes in waves. I think we've come through like illustration. It was very traditional based in the before computers, obviously, but like when the computers got fast enough and there was good software, that became all the rage of doing things digitally, and they loved the digital look. And there's still something with traditional work that will always be needed and always will be appreciated. Doing something traditional. I mean, there is a. I tend to find. I tend to think that an illustrator or any artist that's doing something traditional, in some ways, it's a little bit more impressive because they don't have a Command Z. They don't have. They can't just go back a few steps and start over again, or they can't save that version and then do another one. But there's a certain amount of impressive qualities of traditional work, and there's still some art directors and art buyers that love to get a hand delivered painting and hold that painting in their hand and, you know, say, wow, I don't get this every day. I get stuff through email all day long, but like, look at this. This is amazing. And that's what gets you hired again. So, but for what I do, it depends on the job, but most of it's digital now. And I really love it. And, you know, but you need both. You need the traditional skills to start off with, and then use those traditional skills in the computer. It's not going to help you draw better. You're still going to be a bad drawer if you're a bad drawer traditionally. You know, it all comes down to drawing skills, and use the computer as a tool, just like a paintbrush.
Okay. So, what are you interested in exploring more? Are you interested, like, idea-wise and material-wise?
I am more in. I like doing the digital stuff, but I also still love all the traditional stuff. I mean, I'm getting into doing some stuff in pastels. You mentioned my skull octopus piece. I did that in watercolor and pastels. I really like doing that. I do a lot of watercolors. I want to get better at that. I also want to be better life drawer. I want to be somebody that can draw from life very well. And that's always just a skill that everybody needs, and keep practicing. Digitally, I would love to learn Flash and get better at Dreamweaver using CSS, and I'm learning some of that right now. And just basically, I think if I'm a good drawer, if I practice that, I can apply that to any medium, any market that I want. And I also would love to try to get out of the corporate world, not necessarily altogether, but a lot of my work, it looks very corporate, looks very business, like suits and technology and all that. I'd like to get more into, say, the fine art scene, or the Juxtapose magazine crowd, maybe some sci-fi fantasy, and, you know, try out all sorts of things. You know, just, I love it all.
Okay. Gonna be the catchphrase of the day. I love it all. Yeah. And now, right now, I'm actually working on a paper that talks about copyright issues. It's always going to be a big thing. What are your thoughts on the copyright issues that many authors and artists are dealing with today?
Well, I think we're dealing with them a lot more, because content and intellectual property is much more readily available to everybody because of the internet, obviously. And the Millennium Digital Copyright Act has helped some of that, but not all everybody follows that. Not everybody, you know, some people still think, there's a lot of people that still think, you know, if it's on the internet, it's free, you know, and I can just grab it. If I can grab it, and if I see it on my screen, it's mine. And it's about education of make sure that that's not the case. And you just can't just grab this and print it and use it. So there's a lot of really great work going on with the illustration organization of the Illustrators Partnership of America, started by C.F. Payne and Brad Holland and several others like Dugald Sturmer, and I think Alex Morawski's on there too. I think he might have been one of the founding. I'm not sure. I know he's a member at some point. And I'm a member of them as well, and they're doing a lot of the work behind the scenes, with making sure laws are passed that help protect artists. There's this new thing with the Orphan Works bill, and